Manchester City are completely washed. Completely washed. They've lost their identity. Seriously, they've lost their identity. They've lost their momentum. They've lost what they stand for. 2-0 up. What a comeback from PSG. What a serious comeback from PSG. Congratulations to PSG. Congratulations to Luis Enrique. Man City couldn't play. Man City couldn't play. A whole Manchester City. They couldn't play their game. The pace of the game was too hot for them. Too hot. PSG played them to perfection. Like, to perfection. Come on. In the first half of that game, if you watch what PSG were doing, they were mounting serious pressure. It was massive attack. In fact, it was as if Luis Enrique prepared them particularly for this game. As in, God, Man City couldn't play anything in the first half. They couldn't play. They were just there. PSG were mounting so much pressure, Every time Man City player had the ball, there was always a PSG player mounting serious attack on him. They couldn't play. Kevin De Bruyne couldn't play. Bernardo Silva couldn't play. In fact, in the second half, they had to bring in Gundogan. They removed Kevin. It became worse. At 2-0 up, all you needed to do is keep the ball. Why is it so difficult? Benfica couldn't do it. Now Man City couldn't do it. Keep the ball at 2-0. Play your identity. Play your tiki-taka. Take the ball away from PSG. Even when PSG was not, the 2-0 meant nothing because PSG was seriously playing them before the 2 goals came. Now, the 2 goals would have given Man City the momentum and the confidence to stay in the game, keep the ball, spread possession, and try to hurt PSG. But then they couldn't. PSG mounted serious pressure on them, and at the end of the day, Man City scored 2 goals in 3 minutes. PSG scored 2 goals in 4 minutes. Can you imagine? Against this Man City team, their defense is so porous, so porous. If not for the brilliance of Vadio, it would have been a mess. PSG would have equalized a long time ago in the game because in the first half, Man City was just riding on their luck in the first half because PSG would have gotten at least 2 goals in the first half. They were just riding their luck, and then the first half finished because the first half they couldn't understand what they were doing in the pitch. PSG were playing them in every aspect of the game. PSG dominated Man City. Played them very well. They couldn't play. Then in the second half, maybe for some reasons, yes, the momentum came, the opportunity came, and then they got those goals. At 2-0, when Haaland scored, I felt, okay, the game is already won. From here, it's just Man City all through. But then PSG continued. The consistency was there. What PSG wanted to do on the night, the fingerprint, everything was on show. And then they mounted the pressure, and then they caught the third goal, which was the goal that it didn't just break the camel's back, it ended up killing the camel. Because from that point, there was nothing again in the game for Man City. There was no way Man City could have won that game. There was no way. There was no way. If Man City had won that game, it would have been maybe football decided to just ride their luck on Manchester City. But then, if you watch that game, the comeback was so glorious, so amazing. So amazing. Well, thanks to the brilliance of the board, the Man City board, that they had to get Omar Mamouche. If you watch this morning, Omar Mamouche should be he signed his contract with Manchester City for £75 million. Then the 2 defenders that they got, but the 2 defenders are still young defenders. So even if they go into the first team, even if they go straight into the first team, they will still need to develop. They will still need to, adapt to the Premier League, to the team, to the culture, and everything. So there is still time for them to build. It will be a process for them. It will also be a transition for them. Omar Mamouche is going to be the same thing for him. But then maybe they are going to show their class or something like that. But for now, Man City have lost their identity. They've completely lost it all. Seriously. Pep Guardiola, I don't know. I'm sure he was so disappointed in the game. Luis Enrique got the better of him because it was a game of 2 La Masia players, 2 ex-Barcelona coaches, ex-Barcelona players, 2 teammates, as it then was. I think as at 1992, both of them were teammates, So it was a game of this system versus this system. Luis Enrique plays a direct kind of football. Guardiola plays a possession-based football. So it was this system versus this system. But all the 2 systems are still Barcelona's DNA. Seriously. And then Luis Enrique came tops. Then it shows you that the fingerprint was there that the Man City team has aged. They have aged. They needed that player that breaks the line for them, which was Kevin De Bruyne. And Kevin De Bruyne has aged. Telling you, he's no longer the kind of player that will break the lines for you in midfield to be able to create the spaces. And that's why Haaland is suffering. The goals are no longer coming like that. So they will need a kind of Kevin De Bruyne kind of player. The only player that I see that is in that Kevin De Bruyne mode of player is Jamal Musiala. But then even look at what happened to Bayern Munich against Feyenoord. I don't even want to go there. But then if they want to replace a Kevin De Bruyne, I think they should be considering a Jamal Musiala. You know? Or maybe some other kind of player. But then it was a festival of football. Football will always happen, like I always say. It will always happen. And Man City now, the chances are very slim. Yes, they're playing their next match, their last match against a Club Brugge at home. But then the qualification will not depend on how other teams are going to perform in the last match. So we keep our fingers crossed and see how they are going to navigate this issue. Otherwise, it's going to be a complete mess, a complete disappointment. And Manchester City, a club that won Champions League recently, will not be qualifying to the next round of Champions League. That is an interesting thing. Once again, follow Felix Xclusive, like my video, share it, post it, meet me in the comment section, share your thoughts and your perspectives. Let's see what you think about football and football related issues. Thank you.